they like to equivocate between that sort of hard agnostic position and the soft agnostic position. That what they want to come across as saying, well, I just don't know. But they want it to have the force of saying, and neither can you, so shut up.
Jacob, can you share with us about your framework for picturing what's going on here with the relativists?
Sure. So on any given issue, and you'll see apologists, for example, using a similar framework when it comes to the issue of atheism, but it can be applied to any subject of knowledge. There's first the question of whether or not there's something objectively true to be known about the issue, right? So somebody might say there just is no objective truth, period, or there is no objective truth regarding God. Like, all religions are equally true. There's no objective true where one's more true than the other. That you might find somebody who really is like an outright metaphysical relativist in that sense. Most Christians, especially Christian leaders, hopefully, are going to reject that, right? So then once you establish that there is an objective truth on the issue, then the question is, okay, can we know it? And so that's where what I call hard agnosticism and soft agnosticism comes in. You can say, all right, there's objective truth on this issue, but nobody can know it. And that would be hard agnosticism. Or you could say there's objective truth on this issue, but I just don't know it. Like there probably is some objective truth to be known out there. I haven't studied it enough. I haven't researched it. I haven't thought about it. I don't know, right? That latter one, what we're calling soft agnosticism there, is fine, provided that your attitude is, I don't know, but I want to know. And I'm going to engage to try to figure it out. The hard agnosticism position is the stubborn, arrogant, I don't care to know because I'm claiming that nobody can know, right? And that is what, I mean, if you take that applied to the subject of atheism, almost any Christian is going to immediately recognize how absurd it is, right? Because you're claiming that you can know something about the issue, and that is that nobody can know anything about the issue. So it's immediately self-refuting. And apologists will do this with agnostics, with hard agnostics on the issue of theism, where the hard agnostic wants to say, look, maybe there is a God out there, but nobody can know what's true about him. Well, how do you know that that's true, Mr. Agnostic? How do you know that it's true that nobody can know anything true about God? It sounds like you've got a lot of knowledge about God for claiming that you can't know anything about God. So it's immediately self-refuting when it comes to theism, but it's also immediately self-refuting when it comes to any other issue. So say somebody wants to say, it's impossible to know the objectively moral truth about whether or not it's right to vote Democrat, especially when we're talking about Democrats who want to murder babies. Well, that's self-refuting. And honestly, most Christians aren't going to want to actually stick to that position. The slippery thing is that they like to equivocate between that sort of hard agnostic position and the soft agnostic position. That what they want to come across as saying, well, I just don't know. But they want it to have the force of saying, and neither can you, so shut up. And that's the problem, right? If all they want to say is, I just don't know, that's fine. I do know. So let me tell you. Let me educate you, right? If you're really claiming that you don't know, well, then it sounds like you need to be educated. But most people who say that, they don't want to be educated. They don't want to know. And that's the problem. They want to impose on everybody else this agnosticism that basically functionally says nobody can know. Or in another sense, it might functionally say there is no moral truth here. And that's why we would say that it's a functional version of moral relativism, because it functionally says there is no moral truth to be discovered here. At least there's no moral truth that we can discover, and therefore there's no moral truth that we must abide by.